he's not a fringe, alt-right radical. And so I would have been fine with Kevin getting press credentials. More power to him. Trump also appeared on Jones' show, said that this is a direct quote from Donald Trump, his reputation was amazing. Which, the second he said that, I immediately thought back to when he was running against Ted Cruz and talked about how reputable the National Enquirer was. Talking about how they have talked favorably about them, he does the same for them, regardless of whether it's true or not. And so, because the Enquirer and Alex Jones like him and talk favorably about Trump, he's going to do the same for them. He's going to talk highly of them. That's just part of his personality.
Did he know Andrew Jackson?
I don't know that he did. Alex Jones is not exactly known for telling the truth, so I kind of doubt that story. Trump didn't bring it out himself, but the truth is they do enjoy, I wouldn't say a close relationship, but there's definitely some camaraderie there. In fact, I thought this was a brilliant way to close out this piece that Megyn Kelly put together, wherein they had a link to a news story that came directly from InfoWars. So the Trump campaign is actively promoting his site as though it's a real news site. They have enjoyed that sort of friendly camaraderie of a relationship, but you can't take a word that this guy says seriously. If he says something, I'm automatically skeptical of it, even if it's something that I believe to be true. He's never met a conspiracy theory that he didn't like. You had the gay frogs, the putting chemicals in the water to make frogs gay, the suicidal shrimp that the government was dumping pharmaceuticals into the ocean and it was making shrimp go straight up to seagulls so that they could be eaten by the seagull. I mean, it's just, you cannot make this junk up. He believes that. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what he reported. He thinks that fluoride is a poison that the government mixes in. The people... It doesn't even make sense to say this, but nothing he says makes sense. Denies Sandy Hook, the Columbine, 9/11, Pulse nightclub, Aurora shooting. He basically believes every bad thing that has ever happened is fault of the government, and they're somehow orchestrating and and pulling the strings from the background. The 9/11 truther, he thinks that Sandy Hook was made up to take away gun rights and so forth. So the guy has zero credibility. My favorite animal-human hybrids that the government is working on that he's talking about.
I need to do some more research just for the laughs.
I'm telling you, this guy's hysterical. Like, I watch a show, half that he's going to say next, but it's unfortunate the United States takes him seriously and thinks that he's credible.
Oh.
I'd say that Megyn Kelly is legitimizing him by doing this because the president already did that. And the people on the left that kept bringing him on as a guest who was supposed to be part of the Trump organization, which of course he never was, they also legitimized him by doing that, by trying to connect Jones to Trump. So both sides are to blame here. All right, we'll be right back. 860-1440 are the numbers if you want to call.
Bulls guard Dwayne Wade is leaning toward picking up his $24 million player option to remain with the Bulls next season. Leaks that he published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who eat fried potatoes 2 or more times a week double their risk of an early death. Uh-oh. Stop in at Jersey Mike's today for a sub and a 32-ounce Pepsi. Chris, order of fries, please, for lunch today. And music trip of a lifetime. Jersey Mike above, no purchase necessary. 14th, the official rules at Pepsi. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to ESPN Radio all throughout the day. Someone explain to me, James Dolan, come on this radio show and explain to a lifelong Knicks fan who has spent his hard-earned money supporting this team, actually spent my dad's hard-earned money, supporting this team. Come explain to me why Phil Jackson is running your organization. Please, do me a favor. Explain it to me, explain it to Knicks fans, because Knicks fans are very loyal. We've been waiting a long time for this team to be good, and Phil Jackson is not the answer. He's not. Someone explain to me why we're shopping Porzingis, why we signed Carmelo Anthony to that ridiculous deal in the first place. What is Phil Jackson doing? Other than having Michael Jordan And having Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, what has Phil Jackson ever done? Scottie Pippen. So did Dennis Rodman. So did Horace Grant. So did Steve Kerr. So did B.J. Armstrong. You know who didn't win a single thing? Phil Jackson. And the second he realized he wasn't going to win any longer in Chicago, what did he do? Oh, there's a nice landing spot. There's Shaq and there's Kobe. Phil, you didn't win there either. Kobe won. Shaq won. You didn't win a thing. Why is he running this organization? And why are we taking offers on Kristaps Porzingis? He's 21 years old. A 7-footer who could do ridiculous things that I've never seen a 7-footer do, except for Dirk Nowitzki. That's it. I mean, if they were a college football team, someone should serve them up the death penalty. I'm sorry, Phil, please.
What I was going to say before we started this segment is that we have to figure out over the next hour and a half how to get Stugotz lathered up so that he gives one of these very strong opinions that ends up going viral at ESPN, and there will be no explanation of why it is that he looks like Paul Feinbaum. It'll be contextless as he rails against Phil Jackson. So the next hour and a half of this show needs to be spent just giving ESPN content from Stugotz that can be circulated on all platforms with him looking like Paul Feinbaum and there being no mention that he looks like Paul Feinbaum.
And here's another here's another beauty. Here's another Dan, give me a second, because this is a beauty. Chris Paul, if not for the way that Phil Jackson has treated Carmelo Anthony over the years, Chris Paul's very good friend, Chris Paul actually would have considered signing with the Knicks this offseason if Phil Jackson had treated Carmelo Anthony